What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we gonna talk about the rookies. The season is ending. Obviously, I picked my rookie of the year a couple months ago, well, a month ago, and it looks like it's debatable. MVP. You guys know I'm riding with James Harden this year. So that's already put up, and I'm just gonna give you guys my All NBA teams. I gave you guys that already, so you already know what I think about the All NBA teams. Today we're gonna do the rookie teams. I gave you my top 10 rookies, obviously, but thing about it is that was the rookies how they was playing. Then this is my top 10 rookies for now, and this is for all 82 games. Obviously, the season is basically over. Whoever had the 5 game stretch ain't gonna matter. These are the best to most consistent rookies as you can get from first team to second team. And I'm gonna obviously tell you guys my rookie of the year at the end of the video. But it should be kind of obvious that this rookie list should be similar to everybody else's because there's not really no standout dominant rookies. Any class you go through is always going to be the good ones, the solid ones, and a couple great ones. And usually it's not that many great ones. But this draft class, I felt like it was strong to a certain extent, and it has proved that they got some good, solid role players in that draft. I mean, in this draft, they have some star potential superstars, potential stars in this draft. I would definitely say that. I feel like we have good, solid role players. We have players that have the potential to be dominant. We have players that show signs of greatness, but this is their first year. Their body's not developed. Their skills is not keen. And at the same time, they still need a little bit more sharpening and some more polish. And once they get that, we can be seeing the next flight of stars right before our eyes, like we done seen this year in Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons and Kuzma. So I'm about to go through the second team first. I'm not going to do honorable mentions because if you want to see that, I put that in my other video. So my second team is debatable, depending on what you value: efficiency, team success, um, rebounds, points. Depending on what you deem successful, will make your second team because there's a lot of players that had different type of roles on their team and different type of situations. So my first person on my second team is Lonzo Ball. Only reason why he's this low is because he missed a lot of games and he has a bad field goal percentage and 3 point percentage. Not, he's a rookie. He had a little funky shot. He had to adapt. He has to get used to how they guard him, how they play him. He got to read different schemes and how they play him, defensively and how they scout him. He got to be able to learn and adjust. And that's the same thing for all these rookies. But at the end of the day, one thing I will say is Ball showed that he can play. He was Summer League MVP. And at the end of the day, he didn't live up to expectations. He didn't live up to what his father was talking about, but he did show that he's an NBA player in this league, and that's important. Dennis Smith Jr., I wasn't high on him coming out of college, and I told you guys that. He averaged 15 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. That's solid. That's a better season than a lot of people thought. He did get a lot of minutes. He did get a chance to throw up a lot of bullshit because he is on a bad team. And you can say his numbers are a little bit empty, but he showed that he can play. He showed that he's willing to compete. He can excite the crowd, and he can score the basketball. Is he the most efficient scorer? No, but he doesn't have the body. He doesn't have the mindset, and in a little bit more polish and a little bit more sharpening, he'll be fine. And Rick Carlisle is an offensive genius. He's one of the best coaches in the league. So putting him in these positions, you see the potential. You see the type of games he's been having at the ending of the months. And all I can say is he's one of the better rookies. Josh Jackson been having an even better ending, but he hasn't been efficient. People look, oh, he put up 20, oh, he put up this, but he hasn't been doing good from three. He hasn't been shooting the ball very well. A lot of it is because Devin Booker is gone, so they need somebody to jack up shots. He's like kind of like Dennis Smith. He's on a bad team, so somebody got to take shots. And Josh Jackson has benefited from that, but he hasn't been efficient. He hasn't been dominating. He just been taking up a lot of shots and putting up numbers. John Collins is a sleeper. Some people don't have him on this team. Some people don't really talk about him. He hasn't really got that much coverage from the NBA. But John Collins is definitely one of the most solid rookies, giving you double-digit points and a high amount of rebounds for his minutes, and he has contributed. Is his team bad? Yes, but he has been efficient. He has been one of the more consistent rookies, and I like his potential. Um, And that's really it for that team. Um, let's go to all rookie first team. You got Ben Simmons, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Kyle Kuzma, and you also got Lauri Markkanen. And that's my top five for the best rookies this season. Um, and honestly, these are the best rookies that you can have on your team. And I might be missing somebody because I only gave you four. Ball, Smith, Josh Jackson, John Collins, and Lonzo Ball. So that is it. So Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Kuzma, Jason Tatum, and Lauri Markkanen has been the most consistent rookies in the game. Ben Simmons came out the league. He had a good scoring burst, slowed down a little bit, but still was able to fill up the stat sheet. Still was able to help his team make the playoffs. And Joel Embiid has been injured quite a lot this season. He hasn't really won games when Joel Embiid was gone. Now their schedule got a little bit more easier down the road, so they're winning games, but they're not really going against anybody. But all that matters is winning. When you're trying to make the playoffs, you want to win as many games as possible. They was able to sneak up and get the third seed. Right now, they might not finish with the third seed, but none of us really expected the Sixers to be that good, honestly and truthfully. Um, and right now they're tied. Well, they one game ahead of Cleveland for that third seed. So that's actually above expectations. And one thing I wanted to say about my second team is Ball, Smith, Josh Jackson, John Collins, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. I did miss one guy. It was Bogdan Bogdanovic. He was a sleeper going into this year. We didn't really know what he was going to do. We didn't really expect that much from him. He has gotten minutes. He has played well. He has knocked down shots. He shows that he is an NBA player, could be a potential starter, looks like a role player, but you never know if he puts the work in how good he could be. But at the same time, all I can say is he showed he wasn't on my list in the beginning. He rose up to that list now. He's on my second team though. Ball, Smith, Josh Jackson, John Collins, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. That's the second team. I want to talk about Donovan Mitchell has went above expectations. I thought he could score. I thought he can be fine. I thought he can be a good six man. Everybody got injured. Rodney Hood got traded. He took advantage of the situation. He went out there and handled his business. He scored. He took over. He was in clutch moments, and he strived. And he wanted those moments. He took the shots and made them. And he's what you want in a franchise guy. A guy that's willing to be patient, a guy that's willing to score within the offense, but still be able to create his own shot, still be able to get to the paint, be a solid free throw shooter, and be a playmaker when he needs to be, and still playing within the team concept, because a lot of times he doesn't try to force up shots or just take too many shots, but he knows when it's time for him to take shots, and he knows when it's a good shot. He does need to get that jump shot a little bit more wet. He does need to continue to practice on the three-point shots. He got a little overconfident, taking far threes further than he needs to be. Stay up close to that line. Take the best shots available. It'll definitely help your team. The worst shots you take hurt your team because of fast breaks and turnovers. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to showboat too much. Try to keep it nice, clean, and simple. Knock down a couple spot up threes. Come off a couple screens. Get to the paint. Get out in transition. Get yourself some easy buckets. And that will help your team while also you still scoring. Kyle Kuzma has been fantastic this year. He had an argument in the first 2 months for being rookie of the year. Obviously, him coming off the bench hurt his chances because he didn't get as many shots and they didn't really need him as much. But one thing I would say is they got rid of Hood. I mean, they got rid of Larry Nance. They got rid of Jordan Clarkson. And, he's been showing out. He's a guy that can take big shots. He's a guy that can knock down a three. He's a guy that can get to the basket. He can shoot free throws. He can handle the ball. He has the size. He has everything almost. He just got to do it more consistently. And he has to be more dominant. If he can be able to get on a team or they can give him that role, you can see this guy in all-star games, especially at that forward position, whether it's in the East or West. I can definitely see him making it. And he can rebound for his size and his build. Kyle Kuzma can play. Jason Tatum hit the rookie wall to a certain extent, but he's been a solid rookie all year. He's been highly efficient from the field. He does what Donovan Mitchell don't do. Donovan Mitchell can make shots and take shots. Jason Tatum takes and makes the right shots, but he doesn't do it enough to where he's a superstar. So it's like they have the reverse mindset. And Jason Tatum is smart. He's putting in position because of Brad Stevens to take these shots, to make these shots. He doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to take over the games most of the time. He might get a couple isolations. That's good. He might get in the low post, get the elbow jumper, get the fadeaway jumper, or blow past you. I like Jason Tatum. He just got to get more of an ego. If he feels like he can do more and Brad Stevens allow him to see that, and he's going into the playoffs, so they're going to need him to be that. Now that Kyrie is gone, Jason Tatum has an opportunity to put his name on the map. We all know who he is, but he has a chance to get a bigger brand in the playoffs because everybody's going to be watching. And this is the toughest time to play basketball because every team's scouting you. They all preparing for you. And Jason Tatum has a chance to shine in the playoffs and show how great he really is. Lauri Markkanen was a sleeper of the year. I would definitely say, him being a top 10 pick, but we didn't really know what to expect from him coming into this NBA season because most of us never seen him play. I always tell you guys that. But Lauri has been fantastic. A guy that can be a stretch 4 or a stretch 5. He's not the defender that we hoped we never thought he was a defender, but he's not a great defender yet. But he's a solid rebounder, a guy that can knock down threes at a decent enough clip to where you got to defend it. He's a guy that can knock down mid-range jumpers, pick and pop jumpers. He can dive to the rim, get lobs, and throw it off the backboard or even finish above the rim. But as exceptional as Kuzma, Tatum, and Lauri been all season, Ben Simmons is the guy that's putting up 12 triple doubles this year. He's a guy that's averaging 8 rebounds, 8 assists. I thought he was going to be averaging 6 and 6 or 7 and 7. He actually was averaging 7 and 7, but he took it to another level and got 8 and 8. That's ridiculous to be able to put up those type of numbers and be one of the best triple doubles for a rookie in the history of the game. And his team is actually winning, and his team is actually in the playoffs, and his team is actually in the 3rd seed. But the bad part about that is, so is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is in the 4th seed in a tougher Western Conference, not playing with another All-Star, averaging the high of 20 points. The only rookie this year to average 20 points a game is Donovan Mitchell. Scoring matters more than rebounding and passing. The goal is to score the basketball. And the guy that you want on your team is either Kuzma, Tatum, or Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan Mitchell been the star of the team. He's been the heart and soul of the team. And he's giving you 20 points a game. He went from averaging single digits to double digits, and now he's averaging some of the best scoring numbers in the league. And he's only a rookie. And the sky is the limit for this kid. He has the work ethic. He has the hunger. He wants the spotlight. He wants the moments. And he's been proving it every single time. So he's talking the talk and walking the walk. And all I got to say is that's my rookie of the year. If I had to go get nailed to the cross for one person, it's Donovan Mitchell. He has everything I like besides shot selection and overconfidence. But like I said, you don't want to be too cocky to when you start beating yourself. And sometimes he can do that. But at the same time, I fuck with him at the end of the day. He can play. That's my rookie of the year. You knew that already, but now that the season is over, basically, and a team has been winning, because that was Ben Simmons' argument that he was in the playoffs. But the fact that Donovan Mitchell had crossed out that argument because they're in the playoffs and they're the 4th seed in a harder conference. And Rudy Gobert missed a lot of games. And Rudy Gobert is not an all-star or all NBA player right now. He might be, depending on how people use their ballot. But I don't have a vote, so I just wanted to make it into a video. That's my second team. That's my first team. And that's my rookie of the year, Donovan Mitchell. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Ben Simmons better? Do you think Donovan Mitchell better? Do you think Kuzma should have got it? Do you think you agree with my top 10 rookies? It's basically the top 10 rookies of this season. And one thing I say, Bogdanovich snuck in there at the last minute. Josh Jackson been inconsistent scoring the ball, but he's been solid enough to where I give him credit, where, I didn't really expect him to do much because of his body and not having a jump shot. But he has had a okay to solid rookie season, and that's good enough to give him a second team. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, in the comment section below and in the description. I'm gone. Let me know what you guys think.